Listen to this. 50 Cent just shook the internet after leaking the first episode of his explosive documentary focused on T.I. and King Harris. And trust me, he didn't hold back at all. The footage is being described as shocking, uncomfortable, and honestly, straight up messy. Clips from the project quickly started circulating among big names like Boosie Badass, Rick Ross, and Lil Baby, and their reactions were ruthless. The scenes allegedly show Tip and King in situations that have the entire hip-hop community laughing, clowning, and rethinking their reputations. But hold up, if you really want to understand why things exploded like this, you have to rewind to where the tension actually started. The roots of this situation go back to a proposed showdown on Verzuz. For anyone who doesn't know, Verzuz is basically a stage where two artists go hit for hit in front of fans while celebrating their catalogs. This chapter of the drama kicked off when T.I. publicly challenged 50 Cent to face him on that platform. Tip had apparently been pushing for that matchup for years. He even hinted on the podcast $1 Million Worth of Game that both of them had already discussed it behind the scenes. Back in 2020, during the early months of the COVID-19 pandemic, he took things public while wishing 50 a happy birthday on Instagram. And listen, right as Verzuz battles were blowing up online, T.I. used that birthday post to challenge 50 directly. In a video message, he basically told him to pull up with 20 records and sit across the stage from him. At the time, 50 Cent brushed the idea off like it was nothing. Fast forward to 2026, and Tip decided to bring the challenge back to life. The drama really reignited on February 6th when he appeared on the podcast Nightcap with Shannon Sharpe and Chad Johnson. During that conversation, they got him fired up about revisiting the Verzuz idea again. On the show, T.I. explained that his original plan was actually to battle Gucci Mane, but once Gucci already faced off against Jeezy on Verzuz, that opportunity was gone. So Tip shifted his focus and named who he really wanted next. According to him, he called out 50 Cent because he believed the matchup made sense. Then he doubled down and said 50 simply didn't want the smoke. Tip even claimed he had already approached him about it privately before going public. According to T.I., the idea was never meant to turn into a hostile battle. He explained again on $1 Million Worth of Game that the concept was more about honoring both artists' catalogs. Tip said he and 50 had discussed the plan while moving around Los Angeles doing shows together. The agreement, according to him, was that he would announce the matchup first, then 50 would confirm it afterward. But when Tip finally stepped out and revealed the news publicly, everything went sideways. Instead of backing him up, 50 Cent acted like he had no idea what Tip was talking about. He publicly denied the conversation and immediately started trolling him online. That moment completely flipped the energy. T.I. felt embarrassed because he had already told the public the battle was coming. From his perspective, 50 made it look like he invented the entire story out of thin air. Tip didn't hide his frustration about it either. Speaking on $1 Million Worth of Game, he basically said 50 could have simply declined instead of clowning him publicly. To him, the extra trolling felt unnecessary and disrespectful. But if you know 50 Cent, you already know how he tends to respond to situations like this. On February 6th, he fired back by posting an old 2010 Atlanta Crime Stoppers commercial featuring T.I. Then he added a caption telling people to keep his name out of their mouths. And listen, posting that clip carried serious implications. 50 Cent was basically suggesting that T.I. had cooperated with law enforcement. In hip-hop culture, being labeled a snitch is one of the worst accusations you can throw at someone. Instead of accepting the Verzuz challenge, 50 started calling Tip King Rat online. That move instantly made the situation personal. And of course, Tip wasn't about to let that slide. T.I. responded aggressively, insisting that the accusations were false and saying he had paperwork proving his side. He even fired back by questioning 50's own past and telling him to either step into the ring or stop talking. Just like that, the talk of a friendly Verzuz celebration turned into a full-blown rap feud, and the wild part is that their tension didn't start recently. This rivalry actually dates back all the way to 2006. Back then, both rappers were at the top of the game. 50 Cent was dominating with G-Unit, while T.I. had crowned himself the King of the South. The tension showed up mostly through competitive bars and subtle jabs in music. But in 2026, the situation finally exploded into the open. Once the snitch accusations were thrown around publicly, the gloves officially came off. But hold up, this is where things escalated to another level. Instead of keeping the fight between rappers, 50 Cent started targeting Tip's family online. That move instantly changed the tone of the entire conflict. He posted unflattering images of Tamika Harris, T.I.'s wife, which triggered backlash from the Harris family. Tiny even responded publicly, telling him to keep her name out of his mouth. Then 50 doubled down. He posted another meme featuring Tamika Tiny Harris alongside her son, King Harris, with the caption, "God don't like ugly." That move crossed a line many people in hip-hop consider off-limits. Bringing someone's wife and children into a rap feud usually signals a point of no return, and sure enough, that's when the entire Harris family got involved. T.I. didn't sit quietly after that. He launched his response through music, starting with a dark warning track called War. Later the same day, he followed it up with another record titled The Right One, which went directly at 50's credibility. On that song, Tip accused him of cooperating with authorities and claimed he had prison documents to prove it. That wasn't vague shade, it was a direct hit at the core of 50's reputation. Since then, T.I. has dropped multiple diss tracks, including War, The Right One, Lessons, and What Bully. 4 diss tracks from one of the South's most decorated rappers definitely raised the temperature. But the drama didn't stop with Tip. His sons decided to jump into the fight as well, and that's when the situation took another shocking turn. Tip's 24-year-old son, Damani Harris, released his own diss track titled Miss Jackson. The record flips the instrumental from J. Cole's Poor Thing and samples the classic hit Miss Jackson by Outkast. In the first verse, Damani actually addresses 50's late mother, questioning whether she'd be proud of the way he's carrying the family name. The line shocked listeners because it crossed into deeply personal territory. Then in the second verse, he speaks directly to 50 himself with a chilling closing line. Not long after that, Tip's younger son, King Harris, stepped into the ring too. The 21-year-old dropped his own diss track titled Made Man. On the record, he made one thing very clear: don't disrespect his mother. And just like that, the next generation of the Harris family officially entered the battle. But hold up, this is where things crossed what many fans consider the ultimate line. The diss track, titled Solace, pushed things into territory most people in hip-hop avoid. In the record, King Harris fires back at 50 Cent by making a shocking reference to his late mother, Sabrina Jackson. And listen to this, he didn't stop at lyrics. For extra shock value, King appeared wearing a t-shirt printed with an image of 50's mother. In the music video for the track, he's seen smoking while rocking that custom shirt featuring Sabrina's face. The song's lyrics also take direct shots at 50 and repeatedly mention his mother. And just like that, the beef went somewhere darker. But the drama didn't stop there. That moment pulled King Harris fully into the conflict alongside his father. Together, the father-son combination would end up dropping a total of 6 diss tracks during the chaos. Between Tip, King, and Damani Harris, the Harris family unloaded a non-stop wave of music aimed at one target, 50 Cent. Then another longtime rival stepped into the conversation. Rick Ross spotted the viral post and poured gasoline on the fire by joking in the comments that he wanted that same shirt in a 3XL. Meanwhile, support for the Harris side started appearing from unexpected places. Even Tina Knowles, the mother of Beyoncé, seemed to show support by reposting a photo of Tamika Tiny Harris online. That move signaled to many fans that the cultural conversation was leaning towards the Harris family. And trust me, 50 Cent definitely noticed. Soon after, he dragged Tina into the feud with a cryptic Instagram post featuring her photo. The caption hinted that things were starting to get weird, but he stopped short of fully attacking her. At that point, the situation had evolved beyond a simple rap argument. It had become a full-blown cultural spectacle. Despite all the diss tracks flying around, 50 Cent still hadn't responded with a traditional rap record. While T.I. released 4 tracks and his sons added several more, 50 stayed off the mic. Instead, he kept playing the game through Instagram posts, memes, and relentless trolling. Fans started asking the same question: was he quietly preparing a bigger move? Because if there's one thing about 50, it's that he loves playing the long game. Then things escalated again when King Harris moved beyond music and started bringing documents into the fight. The 21-year-old posted what he claimed was a federal document from 2009 tied to the murder investigation of Lowell Lottie Mack. The filing referenced an anonymous phone tip given to investigators. According to the report, that call was later connected to